Hello, happy Wednesday. You are on the Heart of Success show, and I'm your host, Larissa Vakulina. I go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time zone, and here on this show, I'm redefining what it means to be successful. Because, of course, the conventional way of being successful is really about accumulating wealth and acquire some roles and positions, but really it is proved to be something that is not bringing us happiness. It's not bringing us any joyfulness, any fulfillment in our lives. So, what really success means? We need to really look at this issue a bit wider, and we need to look at within ourselves rather than something external that that we actually thought that is bringing to us. Right, today I am actually decided to share with you a few concepts about how can we create unity, inner and outer. Unity is a very huge concept that really we sometimes don't really even can observe and see how this concept can be even understood, right? But so when we talk about unity, we talk about process, and that process have some phases. I tell you it's steps to create unity, but really it is more of a phases of growth and phases of our personal and collective development. So. Um, as we all know, for aeons we've been living life almost in autopilot. It's almost like we are being asleep. We've been taught and indoctrinated with all the concepts that we just kind of took within ourselves, and we believe in all of these concepts, and it really didn't. We didn't really ask about what these concepts mean and how they affect our life. But what's happening for the last, I would say, few years, where we've been really forcefully displayed and portrayed a severe processes that really been taking our rights away from us. We start to slowly wake up, and then what we now going through is a transformation. Transformation is the first phase of that growth and development that we all individually and collectively going through. I'm not saying everyone is in on the journey of transformation, but many people start to question things. Many people start to really be curious about what's going on, how it is all played in front of us, how we feel about all these things. So today I'm going to explain for you three phases about our road to unity, right? Transformation is one of them. What does that mean? So I'm going to go through each phase and explain in details what it means. Transformation means coming out of denial. So because a lot of people are still denying the reality that is actually within themselves. It's coming up. The intuition, the feelings, the reality that we see, that we feel, that we communicate is actually confronting. But a lot of people still living in that denial. So transformation means coming out of denial. And mainly for the individual and a personal level, it is always a healing journey. So we start our transformation with a healing journey of coming out of our personal denial, change our self by going through this pain that we feeling, right? We go right into that negative emotions. We release the childhood traumas and wounds, and we uh, basically just experience that early experiences of our traumatic development that really holding us and driving our lives. So this is more of a healing process, and a lot of people right now are going into this healing direction. They want to start to understand why they feel in one things, they see in another, they hear in the third things, and everything is almost like a chaos that we don't know how to cope with and what to deal how to deal with, right? So by going through the transformational process, we release the frozen psycho noetic blocks and psycho emotional blocks that distorts our original positive intent for a creation, right? So but during the transformational process, we learn to distinguish between emotions and feelings, because feelings are true, honest expression in of the moment. Emotions and emotional reactions are illusionary. It's an illusionary reaction, something that is not true, right? Because every emotional reaction based on the past wounds and experiences. So that's what we learning through the transformational period of time. And also the transformational period of time have some confronting issues through that period, through that phase. Like we learn how to express honestly, we learn how to release and clear, and we have that clear intention to releasing our distorted, erroneous beliefs and clear up and heal these places within ourselves. But we still allow ourselves to fall back into the habitual expression. And that's where when we keep being in the habitual expression of our feelings, we not going deeper into our inner landscape. We're not really opening up our consciousness to learn new things about ourselves and who we really are. And then we still in this phase falling into the blaming. So the blaming means going back into the denial. So transformation is almost like a going forward and backward, going forward and backward. And we every time we have intention to clear up and release all of this psychic material that we've been holding and within ourselves, that blocks our true positive original intent to create positivity, we still falling back into the habitual automatic reactions rather than responses. And we also a lot of times we go back into the blaming, right? So and when we and transformation phase can be months, can be years. So this is the phase where we learn about ourselves, where we really want to resolve this inner distorted places within ourselves. But it is really hard period of time, because this is requires of course discipline. It requires your willingness to stay on this intentional transformational path, instead of allowing yourself go back and fall into this into the blaming again, or into these emotional reactions, and keep creating and recreating that negative psycho-emotional, psycho-noetic thought forms that perpetuate that negativity in our life all the time. So transformational period and phase of our development, I think, is now. Most of the people are stepping on that transformational path right now, because there is no more of understanding and clarity of where are we going by external guidance, by authorities, and by all of these leaders that are right now trying to guide us into the direction that we don't really understand. So this is really good sign that a lot of people right now stepping on that transformational path and trying to work within themselves, do that in a process work to start to understand how can we, through that transformational period, discover new inner, much more deeper, united landscape within ourselves. And we through this phase, we finding that we are more than we thought that we were. Well, this is really important. And develop neutral observer. So when we go through that transformational period for, let's say, months and years, and I know as a healer, I have many clients keep coming, and it has the same way of releasing the traumas, releasing the wounds, releasing all of these frozen conglomerates of the psychic distorted energies, and then they create them again. It's like vicious cycling and vicious cycling. But there is period where that transformational period is bringing you that really strong, confident, neutral observer. Through vicious cycling of all of this, creating that self-awareness and releasing the material from your maybe past lives and all of these conglomerates that we are created during experiences in our bodies. So we eventually get into the stage where we are strongly developing that neutral observer. Well, this is the time we're moving into the second phase of our growth, which is transcendence. So transcendence means re-identifying yourself with neutral observer and start to really love it. You find it very loving to be in a neutral observation state, and you need to start to practice expansion of your conscious awareness. This is the phase where this vicious cycling, as in a transformational phase, is stopped, and you start to really go deeper into the understanding yourself better. You deepening your conscious awareness of what's happening within yourself and also outside of you. So the transcendence phase is allowing you to have this continued expansion, and most of the things that we experience in transcended period and phase is we're letting go of any particular identification with who we are, right? We kind of let go of any particular identity. So we kind of become pure and very clear about our intention. So this is the transcendence. And I think there's not many people, but there are people around the world that are actually in this phase. And this is really great phase to be, but at the same time, it has its own challenges and issues. So the issues of the transcended process is that when people become a neutral observer, there is a danger of falling into the denial of the negative side of life, right? It's like it's a different extreme from the transformational period. So there's also a very a lot of people falling into the fantasy or the fantasy imagination in this phase of development. Almost a lot of people, including myself, I'm guilty of that too. When you go through that very very high spiritual growth through the transcendent period and phase, you kind of almost identify yourself with some kind of a higher imperative. You and then there's also some sort of arrogance start to come in, and there's also sorts of grandiosity kind of tendency become quite easily set in, and all of this phrases like in my channeling this is what I've been told, or God made me do this and that. So this is a challenge of the transcendent phase, and we need to be really careful. Again, in transformational period, we have its own challenges. In transcendent phase, we have these challenges, and we really need to be have more awareness. We need to have more more neutral observer of not connecting to any emotions, and develop more responsiveness to this outside stimulus and inner stimulus. So we really need to be careful in this phase of development. And the last phase of our growth and path to unity is transfiguration. Well, this is a highest phase of becoming one with everything that there is, right? It's a final phase of uniting within inner landscape and within the outer. So you almost become at one with everything that is around you and what is inside of you. So this is the phase where you identify yourself with the unitive principle of the universal law. I'm not sure if there is many people reach that phase of development. Most likely maybe these Tibetan monks and people who are kind of in isolation somewhere, meditating all the time. But at the same time, our reality right now requiring from us to be mystic. We need to become and be mystic right now, living our physical life in this world. And I think these phases, transformation, transcendence, and transfiguration, needs to be looked at and start to be applied. And we don't really have much time, right? Because we almost forced to start to wake up quicker, to start to go through all of these processes of growth and development. And as the quicker we get to the transfiguration phase of identifying ourselves with the unitive principle of all creation, the better it will be for us to recreate and restore the planet Earth and everything that is here into that unitive state that we all consciously want, but unconsciously we keep creating separation, we keep creating conflicts and wars and all of this very low level of creations, right? So I named all of these phases for you, but I think because of this because the leaders or whoever is creating for us the reality and a social construct that we are living with, they don't want us to go through these processes. They keep us in a very low level of that social construct, mind controlling, mind altering, they so want us to have to control us with predisposition of our thought, of our state. So they don't even want us to step on the face of the transformation, which is the first step, and they try to keep us outside of these phases of development, and that's really sad to realize. So I just shared with you these three phases, and as I said, I feel like more and more people are stepping into the phase of the transformation. They become curious, they questioning a lot of things, and of course they feeling anxiety and fear and all of this chaos that is happening around them. They're not feeling safe and confident, so they starting with themselves, and there's a lot of people are looking for healing, and they so there's a almost that force that move people willingly or unwillingly towards that transformation. And a lot of people now are stepping into this path, and they are looking for help. So they're basically looking for help. So I can show you all of these links that if anyone wants to start to know more about that transformational period, and maybe even step on this transformational path and start to take little steps to know yourself better, and then slowly get into the transcendence phase, and then transfiguration. The more people would do that, the better it will be, and the quicker we can transform our really challenging and really separated reality into the reality of unity, peace, joy, abundance, and love. Thank you so much for your support. I'll come back to you next week on Wednesday at 2 p.m. South Australian time zone, and we're going to discuss some other methods of how we can help ourselves to build success in all areas of our life. Thank you so much. And I would like to put a little bit of, I think I have a music here at the end. Thank you. Bye.